Technophiles. Welcome back to another episode of Audioblog Universe, where tech meets entertainment and your curiosity find its home. I'm your host Yogya Sharma, and today we have a special treat lined up for you. Our guest needs no introduction in the world of tech innovation and entrepreneurship. He is forced to be reckoned with, a community leader, a mentor, and a visionary. Please join me in welcoming Siddhant Agarwal. So, Siddhant, you have been a significant influence in the tech community, especially for budding developers and tech enthusiasts across India. But before we dive into the nitty gritty of your journey and insights, I had love for our audience to get a glimpse of your early days. What sparked your interest in tech, and how did that passion evolve into the thriving career you have today?
Right. So, just like everyone else out there in the tech industry, computers world, my interest in tech began during my school days when I first started tinkering with computers. The idea of creating something from scratch, whether it was a simple program or a website, always fascinated me. Interesting story out there. Well, the first kind of love with tech or with computers happened when there was this magazine called Think Digit that came to our school library, and that's when I started learning more about computers, technology. This passion led me to pursue computer science, which was although not the first choice when I was going for my undergraduation. And from there, my curiosity only grew. I was fortunate to have mentors and a supportive community that encouraged me to explore and innovate, which eventually led to the various roles and projects I've been involved in today.
That's great. That's an amazing journey, Siddhant. From your experience, what would you say are the key skills that developers should focus today to stay relevant in the rapidly evolving tech landscape?
Right. It's a tough one. But yeah, I mean, just like this is this Darwin's theory of evolution. That's what I recommend that in today's fast-paced tech environment, adaptability is the key. Developers need to focus not just on coding
Yes.
skills, but also problem solving, understanding cloud technologies, and also being comfortable with AI and data-driven approaches. It's not that AI is taking away your jobs, but you need to be comfortable with how do you use AI in a better way. Of
Yes.
course, soft skills like communication, collaboration are equally important because these are the best solutions that often come from teamwork.
Yes, that's right. You have worked closely with students and young professionals through various initiatives. What are some of the common challenges you have seen them face, and how do you suggest overcoming them?
It's a good question. One common challenge I see is the gap between academic learning and real world application, which I'm seeing is getting reduced, but still I feel there's still a gap which needs to be filled in. Many students still struggle with how to apply their theoretical knowledge to practical problems, or they just maybe build something practical, like take a practical approach, but with a very smaller use case. So my advice is to engage in hands-on projects right from maybe from your second year of your college, and then go on. If not from first year, if you want to take a break in first year, participate in a lot of hackathons, do internship really well. L- I'm seeing there's a drastic shift in the way internships are being um, conducted within the companies and also by the colleges, by these universities.
Yes.
But still, take your internship really seriously, build something nice project, some real world application, because these experiences are going to help you bridge that gap and provide you with a deeper understanding of the industry's demands.
Okay. Google Cloud has been a game changer in how businesses and developers approach cloud computing. What are some of the most exciting trends you have seen in cloud technology, especially in India?
Right. And we're entering into an era where serverless computing allows you to focus entirely on innovation without even worrying about infrastructure, which was the thing back in the last decade, uh, before the last decade rather. Essentially, turning the cloud into an infinite playground for creativity. When I talk about India specifically, we are witnessing a cloud-first mindset across industries. It's not just like okay, only for the tech industry or the startups out there, but everyone, even the traditional industries, are thinking about cloud first. And but what's truly fascinating is how startups and SMEs are leveraging cloud technology to punch above their weight. They're building scalable, resilient applications that can compete on a global stage. And this is specifically, I'm talking about India. And
Yes.
without the need for massive upfront investments, cloud is democratizing technology. It's breaking down barriers to entry. And it's also empowering businesses to innovate faster than ever before. It's not just about cost savings anymore, it's about unlocking new possibilities and driving transformational growth.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about community building. You have been instrumental in nurturing tech communities across India. How important is community support for tech professionals and what can individuals do to contribute positively to these communities?
Good question. Well, whatever I am today, I'll always quote that communities have been that support for me, that pillar for me, have been the strength, be it in my personal life or be it in my professional life. Uh, but when it comes to tech innovation, communities are the backbone. They provide a platform for learning, collaboration, and support. Um, for tech professionals, being part of of a community helps them stay updated. They can find mentors and even discover opportunities out there. It's about building connections that can lead to transformative opportunities. What's truly amazing is how communities can be the breeding ground for something bigger. Many successful ventures have started off as a hobby projects shared within a community where like-minded individuals came together and later on found co-founders within that community and turned a small idea into a groundbreaking project. Uh, that's so much overwhelming. To contribute positively, individuals can just start by sharing their knowledge. They can mentor others. They can actively participate in community events. Just grab knowledge and then connect with the like-minded folks over there. But don't stop there. If you have a passion project or an idea, bring it to the community. You never know who might resonate with it. You can collaborate with you. You can even become your co-founder, as I mentioned earlier. The power of community lies in its ability to turn individual sparks of creativity into collective innovation.
Right. As someone deeply embedded in the tech industry, you have seen a lot of innovations come and go. What tech trends or innovations are you most excited about for the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, the industry itself is evolving. It's transformative. It's changing rapidly.
Yes.
It's tough to comment on it, but overall, if I look at the trend from the past decade, and then maybe just put in some thoughts on for the next decade, 5 or 10 years. I'll see that there's going to be a rapid advancements in AI. Generative AI has been one key advancement in the last 2 years, in fact, 2 or 3 years. Although generative AI has been in work for quite some time, but last 2 or 3 years has been phenomenal with generative AI being in the trend. But yes, there's going to be much more advancements in AI, and also I'm looking at expansion of edge computing out there. So what excites me most is how edge computing is poised to bring intelligence closer to where the data is generated, whether it's in smart cities, autonomous vehicles, or IoT devices. You can easily do your machine learning task or AI task within the edge device itself. So we are moving towards a world where processing power isn't confined to just centralized data centers or clouds, but it's distributed across various devices and locations. So this shift will enable real-time data processing. It will, of course, reduce some latency, and it can even open up new possibilities for personalized and responsive applications. So imagine smart devices that not only gather data but analyze and act on it instantly, right at the edge, without needing to send everything back to the cloud. And this is where the future of AI really gets interesting. Combining the power of AI with edge computing means more secure, efficient, and scalable solutions that can adapt to specific needs of users in real time. So I'm banking on this next wave of innovation, which is going to harness this combination to create truly intelligent systems that are always on, always learning, and always improving.
That's great. Well, artificial intelligence is shaping up to be a major force in the industry. What are your thoughts on the ethical implications of AI and how should developers approach to this powerful tool responsibly?
Good question. A very interesting line from Spider-Man movie where the father of Spider-Man says, "With great power comes great responsibility,"
Yes,
and it actually holds uh, true in the case of AI. AI holds immense potential, uh, but with that it comes there comes a responsibility.
responsibility,
Responsibility
right.
to use it in a better way. So developers need to consider the ethical implications of their work, such as your data privacy, your bias in AI models, and the broader societal impact as well. So it's crucial to approach AI development with the mindset of fairness, transparency, and accountability, just to ensure that the technology benefits everyone and not being biased up there.
Yes, because many people misuse, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, on a lighter note, with your busy schedule, how do you keep yourself updated with the latest in tech and go to sources, books, or podcasts you had recommended to our listeners?
Well, I'm not a book reader, to be honest. Just putting this over here. I'm not also a podcast fan. Well, I've been following, or rather, had a look at the previous episodes of this series, this podcast program. But I'm actually not a podcast fan. But I do read tech blogs. I usually just go to medium.com and find some nice blogs to read. There's a nice publication called Towards Data Science, which has nice curation of blogs. I usually go with that. I go with the blogs on maybe Analytics India magazine, so just get myself updated from there. But most of my learning on the what's happening in the tech industry comes from newsletters. So I subscribe to bunch of newsletters from multiple publications and then get some newsletters every day. Kind of again, not a diehard fan of anyone specific, but just try to consume whatever the best I could from each of those newsletters. Another area that I use to upskill myself or learn about what's happening is through conferences. I attend a lot of conferences while delivering the sessions and also otherwise, and go around at the booth, talk to people, and that's basically my go-to resources. So conferences, developer conferences, community meetups are mostly the way I learn more about what's happening latest in the world.
Yes, that's really helped developing our confidence. So, Siddhant, this conversation has been nothing sort of enlightening. Your insights into the tech world, community building, and future trends have certainly given us, our listeners, a lot to think about it. Before we wrap up, what advice would you give to aspiring tech professionals who are just starting their journey?
Uh, I usually not a person who gives advice, but generally speaking, my advice is to stay curious and never stop learning. That's what I follow for myself as well. Always in need for learning something new. Always curious about what's happening, why it's happening. The tech industry in general is moving so quickly. So adaptability and a growth mindset is
Yes.
definitely needed. It's super essential at this point of time. So do not be afraid to take risk if you have to. Ask questions. It's okay to be dumb, to pretend dumb as well sometimes, but it's okay. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask. Uh, what's the max going to happen is you'll be just turned down or you'll be just pointed to a beginner resource, which is also good learning. I mean, you're starting from scratch somewhere. So take risks, ask questions, and third foremost is seek out mentors. There are a lot of amazing tech professionals out there who have done something great in their life, in their journey. So talk to them, ask them their journey, understand from them what are the mistakes that they did, so that you don't make the same mistakes. And most importantly, and I'm not saying this because I come from community, but contribute to the community. You learn something from the community, always give it back. So teaching and sharing knowledge not only helps others, but it also deepens your own understanding. As I said at the starting, I whatever I am today is just because of that community, be it in any capacity, as a speaker, as a volunteer, or as an event manager, event organizer, as a community leader, to community organizer, to kind of be on the other side of the table, managing the program of all the community organizers. So I've I've gone through all the journey, and in fact, I'm still being part of a lot of communities where I'm contributing, not just in volunteering capacity, but also sharing my knowledge, so that I can learn more from the feedback that they give. So stay curious, never stop the blogging.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for sharing your knowledge and experiences with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. And I'm sure our listeners are walking away with a wealth of information and inspiration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a great conversation, and I look forward to seeing where the tech community goes from here.
You're welcome. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Audio Blog by Technophiles Universe. Remember, folks, whether you are a seasoned developer or just starting out, the tech world is full of opportunities, and with the right mindset and community, the sky's limit. Until next time, keep innovating, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Stay tuned, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.
Super. Thank you.